What's up, guys? Gianna Girardi and Mark Robinson here with Guerilla Sports coming to you from Ball Arena. We thought we'd sit down with y'all and chat today about the Nuggets-Houston game that we just witnessed and kind of just where we're sitting right now in the league. We just played our 27th game. We're 20-7.
Yeah, the game was much earlier today, so why not take some time to just not do something so formal, sit down, do a little more of like a show-style recap, and being in the fact that it's about a third of the way through the season, go a little deeper than just what happened today. Where are we at through the first 27 games of the year? But obviously before we get into that, we do want to break down everything we just saw in kind of a thriller of a game.
It was. It really was. It was a very physical game that we saw. We unfortunately lost tonight. A lot of that due to the refs, in my opinion. Refs versus the Nuggets once again.
Yeah, the officiating was definitely biased a little bit towards the away team. I never like to get too much into this team lost because of the refs, but to an extent it does happen every once in a while. There were some questionable calls on Bruce Brown, who was primarily involved in a lot of the heat going on, so to say, and it led to head coach of the Nuggets, David Adelman, coming out onto the court, getting pretty pumped up with one of the officials out on the court, like pretty amped up to the point where he got ejected. He had a pretty funny quote. He said, "I was just trying to get answers, and then I had to leave."
Yeah, he said he followed the official out. He was like, I was going to ask questions. He walked a little further than I expected and in turn got kicked out of the game. So kept things a little interesting, fired up the team a bit. We came back. We broke it down to 10.
Yeah, it got closer toward the end. Like midway through the fourth, a lot of people were saying this is kind of the first blowout loss of the year. This was the first time where you weren't on the edge of your seat. Your heart wasn't racing in the final few minutes of the game. You weren't really wondering if there was a sliver of a chance that they'd be able to bring it back and win. It was a pretty sure thing, in my opinion, that we weren't going to be able to pull this one out from the start of the third quarter. But like I said, like a lot more goes into the game than just the fact that the Nuggets lost. I think from the perspective of the Rockets, they had lost 3 of their last 4. Two of those were in overtime, and they were 2 straight. One of them in this building to the Nuggets, and the Nuggets had the 2-0 season series edge over the Rockets. I think it was bound to happen that they were going to get a win, and Adelman expressed that as well. It's a really good team. The environment was really good, and because the games were so close, almost sort of in kind of a playoff-esque way, Houston was able to kind of figure out what they needed to do to come in and win a game. They did exactly what the Nuggets did a few days ago, and that's why they were able to get that first win of the year against Denver.
Yep, and we got to talk to a lot of the guys after the game. We brought up that it felt like a playoff game in here. I mean, there were T-shirts everywhere. Jamal made a joke that the T-shirts made it feel like a playoff game rather than the game itself. But, you know, a lot of them did agree that that energy really just was amped up in here. It was fast, back-to-back, physical. But unfortunately, Nuggets were just missing that energy.
Yeah, and it was a lot more offensive heavy for the Rockets. They were, I think it was like either 19-8 or 18-9 in threes made amongst the two teams. And a lot of the guys in the locker room as well, they expressed how it was mainly a defensive thing. You have to stop that just constant resurgence of driving to the middle, getting to the glass, easy 2 points for the other team. That's where this Nuggets team's lacking the most right now defensively. It's kind of been the common theme, especially with guys like CB and Aaron Gordon out, which we are going to get into injuries in a little bit here. But with a guy like Christian Brown especially, with him being
defensively,
out, he's such a defensive piece to this team. Let's talk a little bit about the KD Bruce Brown drama.
There was some drama tonight. Things got a little heated here in Ball Arena. But you know what? Keeps it interesting. It's kind of fun.
Oh, 100%. There were a few exchanges between Kevin Durant and Bruce Brown, getting in each other's faces a little bit. Bruce Brown hit some super clutch threes throughout the course of the game, and he got like right to the nose to
right
nose.
Up in his face, clapping his hands.
Yeah, and as you can suspect, all that drama led to him being at the podium for an interview.
Yep.
And I mean, he got asked just about what kind of transpired. He obviously didn't give too much detail. They're not going to tell what they said to the media, but he basically said, I'm trying to think of the way that he phrased it.
There are some things you just don't say to another man.
Yes, exactly. It was like, as a man, I have it right here. As a man, there's certain things you don't say to another man. And then on the other side of things, there's already clips of KD's post-game interview out, and he
He's taken accountability.
Yeah, he completely was like, I mean, I don't know. He was like, I've learned how to talk and hear that kind of stuff. Some people haven't.
Yep. But he did say that he crossed the line a bit. So curious what that exchange between the two of them was. I want to know really bad, but I don't think we're ever going to find out.
I don't think we are ever going to get to know. But March 11th, those two teams face off again. Now there's some drama attached to it.
Oh, yeah, and Bruce Brown said he's ready. He wishes it was sooner. So we'll see how fired up he comes out next time we face Houston.
Yeah, so, I mean, biggest takeaways from today's game. Houston was able to pretty much change their entire strategy from the other day to quickly adjust, find out how to beat an offensively strong, defensively struggling Denver Nuggets team, and they come in and do so. And it's like Coach Adelman said, too, they are a very strong team in the West. The whole West in general is so dominant right now. It's no surprise that they were able to come in here and kind of finish what they were hoping to have done the other day, because it was a tight overtime game.
Easy to kind of figure that other team out when you play so soon back-to-back as well. But again, offensively, we didn't really have that great of a night either. We missed a lot of shots, so there were things that were just off on either end for our Nugs tonight, and unfortunately led to a loss.
Yeah, some of our stars like Jokic and Jamal Murray. Jokic, not as much. He has a good night every single night because he's Nikola Jokic. But Jamal Murray, coming off a 32-point night, only 16 points for the Blue Arrow tonight. When you don't have a starter like that producing offensively, it takes a lot for guys on the bench to have to carry that weight. And as much as we do have a very deep bench, we have a very efficient amount of guys that can be put in sort of David Adelman trying to get the rotation going and trying to mix who's playing with who. When you have Jamal Murray not getting 20+ points, it's gonna end up in the way that you're barely breaking 100 points.
Right.
You had a prediction at the beginning of the game.
I did, and it hit.
Big Val, funniest guy on the team, Mr. Vibes in the locker room.
Oh, yeah.
And a great depth center for the Nuggets. You said he's going to have a 10+ point night here in Denver. Afternoon, I guess I should say. And he was able to do so. Jonas Valanciunas.
It's time for Val to get some love here in Denver. I think he might be my favorite player on the Nuggets, so I was hoping for a good one out of him tonight.
He just brings such great vibes and energy. Like, there was a clip circulating around of Adelman someone asking Adelman, is he like the funniest kind of vibe guy in the locker room? And he raved about how he's hilarious, and Adelman was like...
And we can attest.
Yes.
We both agree as well. He says hello with a big smile on his face every day. He truly is just an awesome man and basketball player, and we saw that tonight. Yeah. Good night from Val.
Yeah, 3 different players on the bench, 10+ points. Valanciunas with 10, Bruce Brown with 12, and Jalen Pickett with 10 too. Other than that, a little bit quieter night from our guys that weren't in the starting 5. Julian Strother only had 2 points, and then Hunter Tyson with 2 as well. And then, like I said, even in the fact that our starting 5 was struggling a little bit offensively, you obviously look at the fact that Jokic had a good night, but other than that, Murray was much lower than he normally is. Tim Hardaway Jr. only had 8 points. Spencer Jones had 9, and Cameron Johnson only had 6. So you can kind of connect the dots in a sense that we got 101 points. That's not typical for the Nuggets.
Right.
They're an offense-heavy team, and they were lacking in that regard tonight.
And until this week, we're kind of struggling at home, and we turned that around this week, did a little bit better, but obviously tonight faced another loss. A lot of that is due to injuries. We have 2 starters out, and then Peyton Watson, who's really shown us that next man up mentality, he's unfortunately out right now as well. Hopefully we'll see him again on Monday. It's just a bone contusion, so nothing too serious, but obviously painful enough to keep him out of the game tonight, which hurt us in a sense.
Yeah, you look at P-Watt, he's already in a role in which he has to step into a starting position that he's not comfortable with and he's not normally in. When he gets hurt, you're seeing so much different of a starting lineup. You have Spencer Jones and Tim Hardaway Jr. in your starting 5, which no hate on those guys. They're phenomenal basketball players. They're a crucial piece to our bench. But usually the situation is those types of players are who come in as a bench type of role and help elevate our offense and our defense as well. But it's getting to the point where they're having to come in and do that as a starter, and on a night where they can't find their production, so to say, that's where we get hurt offensively. But yes, injuries definitely worth noting, because it's honestly, it's what's hurting this team the most right now. You have Peyton Watson, like you said, who went down the other night. It's nothing's broken, nothing's fractured. He's game to game. But Adelman said he had a setback before today's game, wasn't feeling it, wasn't ready to go. Adelman didn't even know if he was going to play 90 minutes before we ended up not seeing him. So hopefully he's back soon. But a little bit of an update on the other very notable guys, of course, who are injured. Christian Brown, who sprained his ankle on November 12th. So it's been over a month.
It's been a while.
Since we've seen CB.
We're ready to get him back.
Yeah, exactly. We've been seeing him practicing a little bit. You've been at practice.
Yes.
What have you seen kind of his what does his status look like from your perspective?
Nothing too aggressive, nothing too physical. He's been shooting the ball. He's just getting back out there, getting a feel for it again, but we haven't really seen too much physical work out of him, at least from our side of things. I'm sure he's getting in the gym and doing everything he needs to be doing, because hopefully we'll see him at the start of the new year. So that was the word on the street, but you never know with those nagging injuries.
Yeah, I can speak from personal experience. I don't know about you. A sprained ankle is
A sprain is worse than a break.
It's no joke.
It sucks.
It's actually awful.
You don't want a sprain.
Yeah, so you can't really do anything about a sprained ankle except for just elevate, ice, rest, and kind of try to just utilize it and use it as much as you can, but he's clearly not ready to be in a game sort of scenario. But like you said, it's a good sign.
Making progress, taking steps in the right direction.
Yeah, very good sign.
Yeah. And kind of getting to that point in the season, we're a third of the way through. Every team's facing some injuries. Unfortunately, our bench is seeing, or not our bench, but our team is seeing quite a few of them.
Well, our bench is seeing it because they're having to step up and deal with the fact that crucial guys in our lineup are injured. But anyways, P-Watt day to day, Christian Brown. Hopefully by the new year, that's my New Year's wish. Hopefully it comes true. And then AG sprained his hamstring. He's been practicing as well. That's another one where it's just you have to keep working out and getting it stretched out, and you have to go on field. Has he been practicing as well? Has he been kind of getting loose? And
he has. I've seen him out there. Not as much as I've seen CB, but we're not allowed in the practice the whole entire time, so he could be out there more than what I've seen personally. But those hamstring injuries also very nagging. He's had a problem with it for a couple of years now. That was his injury last playoff run. So just hoping that he can heal that up and be good for playoffs, because that is truly what we want. We want to go in with a healthy team. We talked to Adelman post-game, and he said that the biggest thing going into playoffs, because any team in the West, really, it's a battle with any of these teams. So the biggest thing that you want is to have a healthy, ready team when that time rolls around.
Yeah, and to be honest, this could be just what the Nuggets need.
Yeah,
it might
injuries at a good point of the season.
It might be the perfect time of the year for Adelman and these guys on the roster in general to have to sort of figure out who gets put where in the rotation, who plays when, how do you rotate guys in and out, at what rate do you do that without crucial players in the roster?
Rather than playoffs rolled around and we lost someone crucial.
Because honestly, it's been over a month without CB, close to that for AG as well. And
we're still 20-7.
Yeah, exactly. We're still very high up in the ranks in the Western Conference, in the league as well, which we're going to close things out on this little mini pod, so to say, kind of just talking about where the Nuggets are in the standings, what all that looks like. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But they had their best start to the season in franchise history, and half of that was without two key starting five players, one of them who just signed a huge, long extension to be in Denver longer term. So that's definitely, like I said, I think it could be just what they needed. By the time, which this is way later down the road, we're a third of the way through the season. Once playoffs roll around, it could be everybody's healthy, everybody's ready to go. Knock on wood, obviously. Yeah,
fingers crossed. We're working out the kinks now in case there are any issues, but we're not putting that bad juju out into the air.
Yeah.
But yes, we are a third through the season. What's been the main thing that you've seen from our Nugs?
Well, the defense is a struggle in my eyes. I think that's the most concerning aspect of the team. But on a more positive note, I love how much our stars are shining, so to say.
Oh, yeah.
Jamal Murray's been my favorite player to watch so far this year personally.
He's had a great year, his best.
Yeah, I agree. Watching him feed off of the energy in this building. Watching him from behind the arc as well. The other night when we had the Orlando Magic in town, that crazy second quarter run, it was like a 34-7 run.
Hyped the fans up, hyped him up.
he was the primary reason in that. He just, anytime he got the ball behind the arc, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. Just boom. From right behind, so many threes, back to back to back, getting the crowd so into it, which this is a little caveat, but I think it's worth mentioning in this sort of moment right now. This building has been rocking lately.
It has. The Denver fans are showing out. I mean, why wouldn't we? Look at our football team, our hockey team, our basketball team. Denver is just such a fun city to be a sports fan in right now, and fans are bringing the energy. And you know what? The energy helps the players. It helps them succeed. So keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Yeah, I was sitting at the Avalanche game last night with our Avs beat reporter, Jesse Montano, and he's been doing this for a while, and he's made his way around the world in terms of other arenas and stuff like that. And I actually asked him, how does Ball Arena compare to other places in the world, whether that's Canadian stadiums and, for hockey teams in Canada or just other arenas that flip between basketball and hockey. And he said this building is one of the most passionate fan bases. Denver is slept on as potentially one of the best sports markets in the country. And so just that all leads into this building has been like the specifically the whatever it was second quarter run against the Magic the other night. It was so loud in here, and I think some of the guys were asked about that after that game.
I asked a few of those questions. Yeah. They told us that your guys' energy helps push them, brings them so much energy. I know you always hear that, but you don't necessarily think, oh yeah, like us cheering is helping the players. It does. And I talked to a few of the guys that have been traded and now are on the Nuggets, like Tim Hardaway Jr., and he mentions that he didn't like to come to Denver because it's hard to play here on the opposing team. So having you guys on our side is great, and it really helps our team out and helps us get those wins.
Yeah, we have something else that Jesse said that I thought was worth noting. We have a smart fan base.
Yeah.
People know what's going on. They know when to cheer. Like the ref you suck
chants
today.
That got loud today.
Those were loud.
Our Nuggets fans were not liking those refs. Neither was I, but.
No. Okay, I'm going to throw the question right back at you.
Yes.
27 games in, third of the way through the season. What do you like most about this team? What's the most confident aspect in your eyes of where the Nuggets are at as far as I guess before you answer that, this could be a good time to talk about. They are third in the Western Conference.
Dropped today.
Yep. Both these numbers.
We were second, 4 games back.
Both these numbers dropped one spot after the game. But they're third in the Western Conference, fourth in the league. They're behind a wagon of an Oklahoma City team. Obviously, we know that's it's unreal what they're doing.
Yep.
I think they have now three losses and. They're like the Avs of the NBA right now. The Avs have 2 regulation losses. But anyways, third in the Western Conference, fourth in the league, 20-7, very solid start, riddled with injuries. What do you like most about this Nuggets team?
Very solid start. I would say kind of the point that you were bringing, that right now we're seeing these injuries, but we're still seeing our team step up. We're seeing them do great things. We're having the best start to our season that the Nuggets have ever had. So honestly, I'm kind of okay with seeing all the different rotations that are being played, and that's kind of what excites me the most. I don't really care who's out on the court. It doesn't really make me nervous if Jokic gets pulled or anything like that. I have a lot of faith and trust in every single one of the players on this team, and that's what has been my takeaway so far this season. I
don't know about you, but the vibe that I've been getting is that this group is really, really close. They're really gelled together.
Chemistry is there for sure. Players have mentioned it many times in the locker room. Even media day, which was back in, August?
Yeah.
They were talking about the chemistry that they've built. So that just continues to grow every day, as well as their skill and talent with each other. So it is a fun team to be around.
Okay, one other thing I think would be worth kind of discussing, what we can get kind of each of our insights. What's one thing that what's something that needs to improve about this team? I have something in mind, but
turnovers.
Yeah. I agree.
One word, that's it. Turnovers.
For me, I think the biggest thing I want to see change, and Adelman's mentioned this a few times, faster starts.
Yes.
We're always slow to start the games.
Staying consistent through all 4 quarters. I guess that would be another one for me. That doesn't seem to happen. And honestly majority of our games. So having a consistent 4 quarters would be a great thing for our Nuggets.
You can't win games every night when you're down significantly in the first quarter. It was like more than a 10-point deficit after the first quarter against the Magic the other night, and you're not going to have a 34-7 run in one quarter.
Comebacks are harder
every night.
Right.
Which, on the contrary, it's really great to see that we are capable of like being a come-from-behind team, but at the same time, like I'd love to see us be the team that gets to a really quick start and that goes on, you know.
Let us fans endeavor stop having our heart beating every day. That's the thing. We need a little stress lower.
Yeah, exactly. But looking at the schedule for the next few games here, they've got...
we're back here on Monday.
They've got Utah, and then they've got Dallas on the 23rd, Christmas Day home game versus the Timberwolves here in the arena.
Right here at Ball Arena.
We will be celebrating Christmas.
Yes, we will be here virtually.
Yeah, we are doing I don't know, but I'm going to be on a long flight, but we are, you guys, I think, some of the Guerilla fam doing like a little, everyone's popping on a quick little live stream.
Wishing a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Talking some pregame, some Nuggets basketball, so don't miss us because we'll be there still.
Yeah. And then after that, we get some time off.
Oh, yeah.
To an extent, obviously. We'll be keeping you covered virtually as much as we can, but long road trip. They have a 7... Yep, I counted 1,
Not
2,
back
3,
until
4, 5,
January 9th.
But they have a 7-game road trip. Orlando, Miami, Toronto, Cleveland, Brooklyn, Philly, and Boston, respectively. All back until we're here again on January 9th.
Yep.
So apparently road games are something that works out well for us.
We'll take as many as we can get.
Yeah.
You know, we want to assert that home dominance, but franchise record on the road right now.
What's our road record? Is it like 12-2? And I think we're on an 11-game road win streak.
Yeah. 11-game road win streak. That one's definitely accurate.
Yeah. Okay, well, all things considered, this is an exciting time to be a Nuggets fan, exciting time to be a Denver sports fan. Any final thoughts before we end our little mini pod here in Ball Arena?
Keep showing up. Keep cheering on our teams. Keep doing what you guys do best. Go Nuggets.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun so far. We love engaging with everybody on our platforms and in the comments. So, keep the interaction up, keep the engagement up, and we're gonna keep doing our thing. We're gonna keep cruising.
We are. You guys be sure to check out every Denver sport on Guerilla Sports. Gianna and Mark, we are the Nuggets beat, so we will be covering all the home Nuggets games and most of the away games, maybe virtually though.
Yeah.
But Gianna Girardi and Mark Robinson with Guerilla Sports coming to you from Ball Arena.
Super fun little mini pod. We'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.